Big Bear AI stock is up almost 40% year to date in 2024. Does that make the stock a buy for 2025? Well, we've got to look at more information than just price performance to determine the answer to that question. But that's what I'll do in this video. I'll look at the company's prospects ahead and answer if I think Big Bear AI investors should buy the stock before 2025. Let's take a look. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. So like I highlighted, Big Bear AI stock up 40% year to date in 2024. It's been an extremely volatile stock. You could see around January, the stock price pumped up over 100% before crashing back down and being negative 50% and then being up over 50% again. And now it's up 40%. A lot of the swings in this stock are driven by enthusiasm and hope. I think they've come ahead of expectations on the company's actual tangible results. I think investors got a little excited about Big Bear AI because it's an AI stock and other comparable AI stocks performed so well that they thought, okay, Big Bear AI is going to do just as well. Let's jump in here ahead of the actual performance improvements. So more specifically, if we look at the company's cash flow from operations in the 9 months that ended September 30th, 2024, it's heading backwards. So its cash flow from operations were negative 23.3 million in the most recent 9 months, and that was worse than the negative 18.2 million it delivered in the same time the prior year. So the changes in cash flow from operations are going in the opposite direction for Big Bear AI. If we zoom out a little bit and look at the last few years of the company's performance, you'll notice revenue that's relatively flat on a trailing 12-month basis, 155 million in revenue, and then quarterly they fluctuate somewhere around 40 million in revenue on a quarterly basis. No real growth to demonstrate, no real growth to see from the company. And you can see that through the longer run results. And then if you look at the operating income and the cash flow from operations, which I have in the orange and blue respectively, no real improvement there either. Negative 23 million in cash flow from operations in the trailing 12-month period, like I shared with you. And then negative 45 million in operating income over the trailing 12-month period. Again, with no real improvement. You've seen me cover so many companies that have losses on the bottom line, and I don't mind when a company loses money, especially early stage companies when they lose money. But they need to have other things going for it, like improving revenue or improving losses on the bottom line, so that their losses are not maintaining at a level. They're demonstrating that they're improving at a certain degree or at a certain rate. I don't see any of that for Big Bear AI. I have seen some positives in new contracts and interests from the US military. And so that's been a good sign. That's been good news. And their latest products have tested well and they're generating interest and signing new contracts. But that has yet to demonstrate to improvement on the company's fundamentals. So they're gaining new contracts, but the older ones are flowing away. They're not getting renewals. They're not expanding at a quick enough rate. And that's leading to this kind of mediocre performance. So it's still very early days for Big Bear AI. Now, if we look at the Wall Street analyst estimates for Big Bear AI earnings per share for the next several years, they expect the company's losses on the bottom line to continue for at least a few years more. For the year 2024, they are forecasting a loss of 73 cents per share. For 2025, an improvement, but still a loss of 19 cents per share. And then for 2026, a loss of 18 cents per share. And for 2027, a loss of 15 cents per share. You can see a lot of red here in the analyst estimates for Big Bear AI and what they expect from this company over the next several years. Continued losses on the bottom line, continued negative free cash flow for cash flow from operations. Not very good prospects here for Big Bear AI, whether you're looking at the previous 3 years or whether you're looking at the next 3 years. And finally, let's look at the company's valuation measuring on a forward price to sales ratio. Because the company doesn't have cash flow and it doesn't have earnings, I have to use the forward price to sales ratio to measure this company. And it's trading at a forward price to sales of 3.9, which is near the highest it's been going all the way back to 2022, right? You see these previous peaks here, and the valuation has come down quickly after they reached these peak levels here in 2024. And then back in 2023, they also reached this kind of peak valuation, and then the price drop. And you could see again after reaching the high here, it looks like it's dropping again, the valuation. I'm not seeing anything that makes me want to own Big Bear AI for 2025. I still think it's early days for this company. So if I do want to answer the question I posed in the headline, should you buy Big Bear AI stock for 2025? I would say no, not yet. I would say it's still early days for this company. It's okay to wait for the company to demonstrate better results before jumping in. Sure, you might miss on an upside, a big surge in the stock price based on enthusiasm, momentum, or an announcement about a contract or whatever the case might be. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind paying a higher price for some of these speculative stocks, but with lower risk. Because if you look forward, let's say 6 months later, and the company has better contracts, better revenue, improving profitability, improving cash flow, and the price is, let's say, similar to this point or maybe a little bit higher from here, but now you're getting the company with much lower risk because it has better profitability and better cash flow, I would much rather do that. Because remember, whenever I'm thinking about an investment, I'm thinking about risk versus return. I consciously think about the potential for losses. I don't want to expose my investment to losses unnecessarily. If I'm taking a big risk, I want that to come with a big upside. And I don't think there is enough upside for Big Bear AI stock in 2025 to justify the big risk that you would be taking for this stock. So I would feel that it's more prudent to wait for this company to deliver better results before jumping in and taking a chance on Big Bear AI. It's an interesting stock to watch and keep an eye on to see if it does demonstrate better performance in those critical metrics we discussed here. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.